Welcome to the Statue of Liberty. In this video, we're going to be sharing our full experience visiting Ellis Island and the Statue of Liberty. Let's go. I'm Sarah and this is my husband Alan. We work 9 to 5s, but use our vacation time to cruise, visit resorts, check out new cities, camp, and find awesome food and breweries along the way. Stick around for videos on things to do, tours, and helpful travel tips. I booked our Ellis Island and Statue of Liberty tickets through cityexperiences.com. On their website, they have 4 different options of tickets you can purchase, including general admission, pedestal access, Crown Reserve, and the Ellis Island Hard Hat Tour. All options include a round-trip ferry service, access to Ellis Island National Museum of Immigration, access to the Statue of Liberty Museum and grounds, and an audio tour. We started our morning at Liberty State Park to check out the Empty Sky Memorial and get in line for the ferry. Before we could get in line, we had to go through a very robust security protocol on site. We are down at the waterfront to get on our Statue City Cruises excursion to go check out the Statue of Liberty. The last time we saw the Statue of Liberty was from pretty far away because we cruised past it on our cruise that left from Manhattan. Today we're going to go right up and visit it in person so we can get some great shots. We have the pedestal tour, but you can go up to the crown. You do have to walk up all of the stairs though. There's no elevators, so we decided that we would just look at it from below. You can buy tickets on site as well, but I always recommend purchasing in advance to avoid disappointment. We just went through security here and they do not mess around. You have to take off everything like you're going through airport security, except you can keep your shoes on. But it was quite an intense procedure. Everyone was kind of a little bit chaotic with all the bins. I had to go through the metal detector twice. And now we're walking to get on the boat. There's no boat here, so we're waiting for the next one. We lined up in the fenced-in area and waited in the rain for the next ferry. Our tickets were actually for the noon ferry, but we were over an hour early, so we decided to try to get on an earlier boat, and they let us right through. Once we got on, we also found out the boat had washrooms, a little concession stand selling snacks and souvenirs, and there was indoor and outdoor seating. Our first stop was at Ellis Island. You could skip this and go straight to Liberty Island, but I don't think the ferry returns here after departing from Liberty Island, so you might miss this altogether if you do that. You can also purchase tickets that include the Ellis Island Hard Hat Tour. This gives you a 90-minute guided tour of the unrestored Ellis Island Immigrant Hospital Complex. I actually wish I added this onto our admission because that seemed like a really interesting option. We have made it to Ellis Island. I picked up my English audio guide. It's included with every visitor's tour here. So we're gonna go head around and see what we can learn about this island. We're just getting situated here. It was quite a short journey actually on the boat to get over here, but we were standing, so we did get thrown around a little bit. A good thing to note too, before you get on the cruise boat, is that you do have to go through security, so make sure you actually plan enough time to go through. It didn't take us too long, but if there's a longer line, it could make you late for departure. After I picked up my audio guide, we started to go through the museum to learn more about the former immigration complex and the millions of people who passed through this building to start their dream lives in America. We went through a number of informational and interactive displays documenting the journeys of those transiting through Ellis Island. We were even able to go through the Great Hall, where all of the arriving immigrants lined up to go through the process to start their new lives in the United States. They even had benches there from that time period, so you could sit down and imagine what it would be like arriving here to a fresh start. After that, we went to the gift shop where they had tons of souvenirs for Ellis Island, New York, New Jersey, and the Statue of Liberty. There was also a cafe there, so depending on how hungry you were, you could get a meal or a snack, and they had a variety of drinks. We finished at Ellis Island and now we are waiting to get the ferry to go over here to check out the Statue of Liberty. And here's a tip for you if you're trying to get on the ferry to go to the Statue of Liberty. don't accidentally get on the one that goes back to Battery Park. There is a separate waiting area for the one that goes over to the Statue of Liberty.
It's been a bit of a rainy morning, but it's not stopping us. Next stop, Statue of Liberty.
It was a short ferry ride from Ellis to Liberty Island, and when we arrived there was signage to help you plan your time around the island. We headed right for the museum. We made it to Liberty Island, and our first stop is the Statue of Liberty Museum. Inside the museum, I highly recommend watching the 3 short videos that detail the ideation, design, and build of the statue. It was very informative, and I learned more from that video than from going around the displays alone, so it's definitely worth the 10 minutes to view them. But we also walked through the displays and saw some interesting history, artifacts, and learned about some of the movies that featured the statue throughout the years. And after you finish at the museum, you can head over for some amazing views of the Manhattan skyline and Jersey. They are right behind me here, so make sure you're bringing a camera so you can get some amazing shots. We stopped to admire the skylines once again before finally going to see the statue up close. We made it to the Statue of Liberty and the sun came out, the rain is gone. We are so happy that we get to walk around without it pouring on us. Made for an extra special visit here because it has been pouring for the last 2 days basically. Anyways, we're going to tour around the island. You can see the statue behind us, and we're going to make it up to the pedestal next. For an additional cost, you can get upgraded tickets to go up to the pedestal or crown of the statue, but you do have to do some stairs for these options. Once we made it to the pedestal, we went outside and were greeted by some intense winds and quite the crowd. So if you are coming here and you want to do the pedestal, I think you can skip it because the views that you get are literally up her nose. You don't really see a lot from here, but you do get views around. So if that's what you're coming for and you want to get some good city shots, then I would recommend it. Or if you're going all the way up to the crown, you can stop here on the way to take some photos. We enjoyed taking in the views while we were up there, and after a few minutes decided to head down to the base to see if we could get some better statue shots. So I don't think it was worth it to go up there to the pedestal, but it does give you access to this lower viewing deck area that's less busy and you can get some pretty good shots. Before leaving, we checked out the museum here, but I thought the main museum had better displays and information. Then we made our way back to the ferry pickup spot, but not before browsing the gift shop. Inside, there was a lot of souvenir options ranging from keychains to clothes, mini statues, purses, jewelry, and so much more. Definitely a great spot to grab some souvenirs if you're looking for some from your visit. And that was it. We got the next ferry back to the Jersey City drop-off and took in our final views of the statue from the boat. We finished our tour and now I wanted to share some overall thoughts of our experience. And I thought it was really worth it to go and be able to see the history behind Ellis Island and also learn more about the Statue of Liberty. I personally paid for the pedestal access for the Statue of Liberty, and I don't think you need to do that at all unless you're trying to get some city views and photos, because you don't really get a good view from the pedestal once you're up there. You just kind of look up the statue's nose. So I wouldn't pay for that. However, if you are looking to go to the very top, to the crown, you do get to walk up the curved stairs inside and get to see inside the statue, which might be more worth it. And now for some tips. If you're visiting, my very first tip is to make sure you leave enough time to get through security when you're arriving to get on the first ferry. The second tip is get off at Ellis Island first because it is the first stop, at least from New Jersey. So we got off at Ellis Island first, spent the majority of our time there touring around and doing the audio tour, which was very informative. And then we got on the ferry to go to see the Statue of Liberty. Once we got to the Statue of Liberty, it was quite busy. I think a lot of people skip Ellis Island and just go straight to the statue because they want to get their photos there. So my tip for visiting the Statue of Liberty is that it's going to be busy, so be patient if you're trying to get photos. If you want to head right to the front of the statue, that's where you're going to get the best photos looking up, and the crowds there will tell you that because that's where everyone is taking their pictures. Another tip for you at Liberty Island is to go to the museum and watch the video about the Statue of Liberty. There are actually 3 videos, they take less than 10 minutes total, and it was a very informative way to learn more about the statue, the history, and how it was constructed. Before visiting, I actually knew nothing about the statue, and I thought that those 3 videos were worth it in itself. In the museum, they also have old artifacts from building the Statue of Liberty, and I thought that was pretty cool to see a glimpse into the past. Another tip for you is to make sure that you take a picture or know when the ferry times are. We saw a lot of people running and missing the ferry as it was pulling out of the dock, and you don't want to be stranded or have to wait an extra amount of time because you weren't there in time. So just make sure that you take a picture of it or you have a schedule with you so that you aren't late. And while you're on Liberty Island, if you do want to go up to the pedestal or the crown, you are going to have to check any of your backpacks, drawstring bags, bigger items. You can't take a lot of things up there with you, but they have lockers on site and it costs 25 cents that you actually get back when you return your key to put your stuff in a locker while you're going inside. Another thing to note is that there are washrooms on the ferry, Ellis Island, and Liberty Island. So no matter where you are, you can find public restrooms. And the last thing that I'll mention is that I didn't realize it was going to take us so long to go from one island to the next and see everything. We actually spent about 5 hours total. That included going through security upon entry and then also going through security again when we got to go to the pedestal of the statue. So make sure that you spend enough time and budget enough time for your visit. Overall, we thoroughly enjoyed our experience visiting Ellis Island and the Statue of Liberty, and I would highly recommend it if you're in the area. And as always, if you like this video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. I'll see you in the next one. Stay tuned for my next video where I'll be sharing our full experience boarding the Oasis of the Seas at the New Jersey Cruise Terminal to kick off our cruise to Florida and the Bahamas.